Miley Cyrus found fame playing Hannah Montana on the Disney Channel, but she didn't like a lot of the ways Disney handled things, and she's actually come out trashing the company. For Miley Cyrus's history with Disney and also Hannah Montana, it actually began with Rejection, where she actually auditioned for the part when she was 11 years old but was turned down. The show Hannah Montana itself had an interesting origin because it actually began because of an episode of That's So Raven. It's because in the third season of Raven, there was actually an episode called Going Hollywood, which centered more on Allison Stoner, who was a guest character where she played this role where she was an actress who also lived a double life going to high school as a normal student. The reason that episode focused more on Allison Stoner versus Raven or any of the main characters of that show was because it was known as a backdoor pilot. And backdoor pilots are when a popular show devotes an entire episode of their show to oftentimes a very different topic to try and create a spin-off series, with one popular example being The Flash, which started off as a backdoor pilot from Arrow. But most of the time these aren't successful, with another example being the episode The Farm, which was an Office episode that was trying to give Dwight his own spin-off series, but it just didn't land. Sometimes backdoor pilots are really unpopular, like the 7th episode of Stranger Things Season 2, which actually attempted to give this character their own spin-off. In the case of Allison Stoner, her backdoor pilot on That's So Raven was supposed to be for a show called Better Places, which was very similar to Hannah Montana, but ultimately Disney didn't like the idea, but they liked the idea of a child star going to high school in disguise. Disney restarted this idea, getting rid of the title Better Places and also Allison Stoner, and did new auditions again for a project called Alexis Texas, and Miley Cyrus did audition when she was 11 years old, but was rejected, being told she was too young. And Disney's first choice to be Alexis Texas was actually Ali Michalka, who they reached out to because she was already doing a Disney Channel show called Phil the Future, which went for 43 episodes. Disney pulled Ali Michalka aside while making Phil the Future, saying this show is definitely going to get canceled after the second season, it wasn't the franchise they wanted, and they offered Ali Michalka the chance to be Alexis Texas, but she had her problems with the role. Ali's first issue being she didn't like the name Alexis Texas because she was trying to do her own music career and thought everyone would just know her as that character, so she actually demanded instead the title just be named after her. The other thing that Ali demanded was her sister Amanda, who did the movie Cowbells with her on Disney Channel, would be her co-star in this new show as well. But the issue was Disney at the time was focused on the name Alexis Texas and didn't want to give Ali Michalka that much power making the show, so they ended up not working with her. And the next person Disney asked was JoJo, who already had a hit song when she was 13, which was called Leave, where she sold 7 million albums, but she turned it down, not wanting to tie herself to a new name called Alexis Texas. After 2 big rejections, Disney went back and asked Miley Cyrus to re-audition when she was 12 years old, and they also brought in Taylor Momsen to audition as well. And then Daniela Monet, who later became known for doing Victorious, was also deep in the auditions as well, where the top 3 were Taylor Momsen, Miley Cyrus, and Daniela Monet. But it ultimately went to Miley Cyrus because they did envision this character being from the South to try and appeal to wider audiences, and the other 2 actresses had to fake an accent while she had a natural Southern accent. And then Miley Cyrus definitely had some advantages because her dad was Billy Ray Cyrus, who sold 20 million albums with his song Achy Breaky Heart and also agreed to do a starring role in the show. So Miley Cyrus was cast to play Alexis Texas by Disney, but then they ran into the issue realizing there was an adult star with that same name who also owned the trademark. So then they ended up coming up with the name Hannah Montana, which was a pretty simple process where they just wanted a common first name for a girl that also rhymed with a state. In filming the pilot, the character's name was changed again because originally Miley Cyrus was supposed to be playing a character named Corey Stewart, but because everyone on set was calling her Miley even when they were filming, they just changed her character's name to that. And one of the main producers on Hannah Montana actually just wanted her character called Miley Cyrus, and Billy Ray Cyrus wanted that as well, but Disney turned it down saying it would be too much of a promotion for Billy Ray Cyrus, so they ended up calling her Miley Stewart. Still, after all that, the show was a huge success, getting 5.4 million viewers an episode in the first season, and Miley Cyrus, who was 13 at the time, became an auto-teen star. Doing the show, Miley Cyrus had a lot of complaints, with one being she didn't feel like she was being paid enough money, where in the first season she was making only $8,000 an episode, and in the final season, despite all the success, it was just $15,000 an episode. If that sounds like a lot, keep in mind that Billy Ray Cyrus, who was definitely not the main character of the show throughout its entire run, was making twice as much money as his daughter was, who was the main character. But that wasn't Miley Cyrus's biggest problem with Disney. Her real issue was actually she developed body dysmorphia because how much they were policing her life. Even when she wasn't filming, they told her when she went out in public she was always to have long hair and couldn't put in a bun or a ponytail, and also was to have full makeup on at all times and also to wear beautiful clothing. Explaining that if she was seen wearing sweatpants when she was just 14 years old in public, Disney would actually be angry with her, saying it wasn't worthy of a pop star. Then she ended up in a screaming match with Disney because of this cover of Vanity Fair when she was only 15 years old. Disney is actually very big on policing what their actresses wear in public to preserve their family image, with another example being Bella Thorne, who was seen wearing this bikini when she was 14 years old, and Disney almost fired her from Shake It Up for it. In the case of Vanity Fair, it was actually Disney's fault because it was her idea to do the shoe, and also many people were creeped out she was doing images like this with her dad. But still, Disney was pissed off at the reaction from parents groups over the shoe, so they forced her to publicly apologize to everybody who was involved, so Miley Cyrus did so, even though she later took it back saying she didn't regret doing it. And there was another issue when Miley Cyrus was 17 and Perez Hilton actually posted a nude photo of her reporting on it, even though he was actually breaking the law doing so. Instead of Disney trying to stand up for Miley against Perez, they didn't take her side at all and actually publicly scorned her, saying another thing like that and she was going to be fired from Disney forever. And then there was also Disney trying to police Miley Cyrus's association with other celebrities, where they only want her to post photos with celebrities that were deemed clean, and then oftentimes times when she was with controversial celebrities, they'd make her delete the photos with them, and those controversial celebrities always tended to be rappers. Now, in recent years, Miley Cyrus has been kinder to Disney, thanking them for her initial success, but she was very brutal on them for about a 5 to 6 year period with good reason. And with that, I'm Charles Peralta. Please subscribe to learn something.